We are going to continue talking about percents, and this time we're going to talk about markups, discount, and taxes. So percent increases and markups. So this requires that you have to read the problem and know what it's asking. It says here, last year, Holy Cross raised $19,340 for pilgrimage. This year, they want to raise 15% more. How much money does Holy Cross want to raise? Well, again, there's a couple of different ways that you can approach this problem. I'm going to use the decimal way for this whole time. If you want to use the other methods, you are absolutely welcome to. So I'm going to take this 15% and write it as a fraction. So it's 15 over 100. And I can write that as a decimal by taking 15 divided by 100, which gives me 0.15. Okay, I want to find 15% of what? Of what Holy Cross raised last year. So I'm going to multiply that by $19,340. Okay, so you should be plugging that into your calculators because hopefully you have your calculators on your desks. And you should get the $2,901. Okay, now a lot of times students will end there and say, oh, that's how much Holy Cross wants to raise $2,901. But I want you to think about right now why that would not be the correct answer. Hopefully, you're noticing that last year they raised $19,340, that it's talking about an increase, so I want more than 19,000. This is just talking about the 15% more. So to find out my total answer here, what I do is I'm going to take 19,340 and I'm going to add it with the 15%, which is the 2,901. And when I add those two values up, you will see that now Holy Cross wants to raise $22,241. Okay, so I have to add it to the total. I'm not just finding 15% of a number. I have to do something with that. It's increasing. We want it more, so we add that to the total. So here's another question similar to this, which if you own your own business, you're going to be doing regularly. So it says here, a sunglass store wants to sell Ray-Bans. They purchase the Ray-Bans for $60. They mark up the Ray-Bans 80%. How much will the store sell them for? So when you buy anything from the store is making money off of you. They're selling it for more than what they've paid for. So that's what's called a markup. Stores mark up the cost of their items so that they can make money. So again, I'm going to start off here. I take my 80% and I write it as a decimal, which gives me 0.8. I'm going to then multiply that by my cost of the Ray-Bans, which is $60. That's how much the store bought them for. Now the store has to make money, so they're going to increase it by 80%. So when I do 0.08 times 60, I get 48. Again, students will say here, well, therefore the sunglasses will cost $48. No, it's talking about a markup, so we know that if it's a markup, it's going to be greater than $60. So what I have to do is I have to take the $60 plus the 80% markup, which is $48, and the store will actually sell them for $108. That's how they make their money. They paid $60 for it, but they're going to sell it for $108. So they make $48 for every pair of Ray-Bans that they sell, as an example. That's what's called a markup. Okay, another reason besides a markup that you will be adding to a number is called sales tax. Depending where you shop, different provinces, states, and regions have their own sales tax. When calculating sales tax, it is very similar to increase and markup questions. Okay, so no matter where you go, different provinces in Ontario have different taxes, and you need to know how to be able to figure out how much money you have to bring, or if you have enough money to purchase an item that requires tax. So in Ontario, we've already talked about this, we pay 13% tax. This is called HST. So let's go through this example here. It says, Miss Tykalis buys her favorite period 5 grade 9 class Halloween treats. A box, I should say, of Halloween candy costs $15.35. How much money must Miss Tykalis bring to the store? Well, I can't bring just $15.35 because I'm going to get charged tax. What is the tax that I'm charged? 13%. So I write 13 over 100, and I'm going to change that to a decimal. So that's how much. So it's saying, again, 13 pennies for every dollar uh, that I spent. And I'm going to take that 0.13 and I'm going to multiply it by $15, the total amount of the Halloween treats, $15.35. When I do that, 0.13 times 1535, we're going to get a number. You're going to round to 2 decimal places. So we can look at our calculators here. I actually get this number here, 1.9955. Because I'm talking about money, we always round to 2 decimal places, which actually means this rounds up because this is a 9 and this is a 5. This actually rounds up to $2 that I'd pay $2 tax with rounding. So this is how much tax I have to pay. I don't just pay tax, I also have to pay for the amount of the Halloween candy. So my total amount here is, again, I'm going to add the $2 to $15.35, which gives me $17.35. That's how much money I would have to bring if I wanted to purchase that box of Halloween candy. So you're going to follow these same steps that we're doing. So you definitely want to refer back to your notes when you're doing the work, assigned work. Okay, discounts. Discounts are awesome. Often when we shop, we love to buy things when they are on sale. They are cheaper and they save us money, which we all love. We may see an ad that says, take an additional 20% off your purchase, which is awesome. So it says here, Miss Tykalis loves to buy shoes. 9 West is having a sale where the whole store is 45% off. She wants to buy a shoe that is regularly $120. What is the sale price? Okay, well, again, it gives me a percent. So my first step is I'm going to take the 45% and I'm going to make it into a fraction. And I can change that fraction into a decimal. I'll give you a moment to do that. And you should get that we get 0.45. I'm then going to multiply that by the amount that the shoes cost, so times $120. You can plug that in your calculator. and you should get $54, just straight 54. This is how much money you save. So if I want to know what the sale price is, for me to calculate the sale price equals your total amount, or what the regular price is. The regular price is $120. Subtract the money that you save. So I'm saving $54. So what is the sale price? 120 minus 54, which gives me $66. So instead of paying $120, which is the regular price, I now only have to pay $66, which is pretty awesome. That's how we determine what the sale price is. The next question here is, what will be her total cost after taxes? Well, that's the sale price of this. So in order to figure out the total cost after taxes, in Ontario, again, we pay 13%. So I go 13 over 100. As a decimal, we should know that it's 0.13. And I'm going to multiply this by not the regular price, because I'm not paying the regular price, but I'm paying the sale price. So I'm going to put the sale price here, 13% times 0.66. I'll give you a moment to put that into your calculator. And you should get $8.58. So that's how much sales tax I'm paying. So my total cost is $8.58, which is the sales tax, plus my sale price, and I end up paying $74.58 for my shoes after sales tax. So while it's still on sale, which is awesome, I still have to pay sales tax. Okay, our last example says, Justin wants to buy a new hoodie. He goes to the Nike store because they are having a 50% sale, 15% sale on everything. How much money will Justin need to bring if the hoodie he likes costs $68? Okay, so we're going to assume that $68 is the regular price. So I need to figure out, what is that going to cost on sale? So step one is I have to find the sale price. So it's 15% off. I write 15 over 100, which gives me 0.15. And I'm going to times that by my regular price, which is $68. We get $10 and 0.2, which is another way of saying 20 cents. So this is what our discount is. Once I have my discount, I can take the $68 and I'm going to subtract it from $10.20. That's the regular price minus the discount. And I get that the sale price is $57.80. Okay, I'm not done there. I figured out what the sale price is. My next step is I have to find the tax. So in order to figure out the tax, again, I know tax in Ontario. Unless it doesn't specify, we're always going to assume it's Ontario. 13 over 100. which gives me 0.13. And I'm going to multiply that by my sale price, $57.80. Now the sales tax that we're going to have to pay, we get a number that looks like this, 7.514. Well, I'm actually going to add that we do to 2 decimal places, so I look at these two numbers. This isn't a 5, so I know that I don't round up, that my sales tax is actually just $7.51. So now to figure out the total cost, I take my sale price, which is $57.80, and I add it with the tax, which is $7.51, and put that into your calculators and tell me what you get. You should get $65.31. So you're going to get some worksheets that you need to complete. The solutions are actually up on the board, taped up on the board. So once you do a question, you can walk up there, check your answers. If you have any difficulties, you can ask for help. But those worksheets are due tomorrow. I need to see all of your steps. So anything you put in your calculator, please make sure that you write down on your sheet. I would like it done. You can do it on the sheet, just write small, or if not, you can just get line paper and do it on line paper if you don't think that that's enough room. And I will see you tomorrow.